Working this microphone.
Yeah, girl.
Hot in here.
So take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I want to take my clothes off.
Yeah,
That's theirs.
you gotta tame it. Tame
I'm
yourself.
sad that it is recording. I was looking at live time, and I was like, oh, that's not recording. That's sad.
Oh, girl, this is recording.
And then it is recording.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome
Oh, hello.
to your March secret
And
segment.
we're rolling with it.
Oh my gosh, let's just go with it.
All
Why
right,
not,
let's
right?
do it.
Here we go. I could give us a counting, but you guys don't care. You like the goods.
Yeah.
We like the goods, real good.
Indeed.
Good.
Well, cheers,
Good.
ladies.
Cheers.
To the March
Cheers.
secret segment and our amazing.
Oh, look. March, green. St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, indeed.
Whiskey all day, every day. No special occasion needed.
So,
You got
Britt
green on your shirt.
and I have special video game glasses. I didn't have another one for you, Summer. I'm sorry. You have one of my fancy crystal martini glasses. So this is a Vortex glass that came in the Mass Effect Andromeda Collector's Edition.
Very
No,
sick.
the Mass Effect Andromeda Loot Crate.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
So I have a set of 2 of those. So the Vortex is the bar.
Yep.
In the
The best place to hang out.
what's the thing? The space thing. The space
station?
thing
I
called.
No,
can't
the
remember
Citadel?
the
No, it's not the Citadel. That's from regular Mass Effect.
Oh, we're talking about a drum. Oh.
regular Mass Effect.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
I don't
having
remember
a
it
full
either.
blank out. While she looks that up, my glass is a deep cut. It's GoldenEye Reloaded 007
I love that they gave you a I mean, it makes sense. He drinks martinis,
martinis.
yeah?
The Vesper.
Shaken, not stirred.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The Vesper, is that is that what it's called?
Yeah.
After the girl?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
The martini. Mm-hmm.
This
Also,
is actually
it's a
very
weird
difficult
name.
to find.
Yeah.
This isn't like popping up immediately.
I like how in that movie when she's like a Vesper, no one, I'm like, I would react to that name because it's weird.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'm sorry, what did you say your name was? How do you spell it? What are you talking about? Who named you? What is this?
It's a weird name. Indeed, I agree with you.
Let's see.
So we are here today to talk to you guys about some of our high school memories. What were we like in high school? So every month when we're trying to figure out what we're going to talk about for the secret segment, we're like, we don't have to make it video game related. We talk about video games so much on our show. We thought that you guys, some of our awesome patron fans, would like to hear us talk about maybe something a little different.
It is so difficult to find the names of these cities and the places.
It's just the first hub. Like,
but I'm saying it's extremely
the claw.
hard.
You still haven't
The
found
claw.
it?
I just called it the claw.
The cultural hubs.
No, it's the ships that you come on.
That's what
Or
she
the arcs?
said.
No. No, the arcs were the ships, and then we went to the station.
I'm gonna look this up on Wiki.
Son
I'm
of a
gonna do
gun.
that.
This isn't. All I'm saying is I can't remember jack shit about Mass Effect Andromeda.
You
I
remember
remember
Jaws'
Jaw.
chest.
His chest
It's burned
and
into
that
your
sex
brain.
scene, and that's about it.
Oh my
Where
gosh.
he goes down on you, and you're like, what's happening?
Wait, what?
Have you
yes.
not seen that sex scene?
I haven't watched it. No.
Oh.
Should I watch it?
Yeah.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Pathfinders, blah blah blah, squad mates, writer. Somebody who's watching this has already been like, "This is what
I
it's
know.
named."
We're sorry.
But we can't find it on the internet somehow.
I told you. I mean, it's there, but it's not easy.
Yeah, you're on the arc.
Oh my god.
What's the name of the thing? I'm looking. The Tempest is the name of your ship. That's not the thing I'm looking for.
See, this shouldn't be this hard.
Yeah, I'm
The Nexus.
the Nexus.
Thank you.
That's
All
what it's
you know what
called.
I googled? Vortex Bar Andromeda. First thing comes up is the wiki. It says the Vortex Lounge's section of the common area is the main social hangout of the Nexus.
There you
This
go.
is why we make a great team, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Welcome everybody
Welcome.
to your March
Welcome.
secret segment. We all kind of collectively were like, we were doing crazy kid stuff in high school. We all were, I mean, arguably different people than we are today,
Sure.
Yes.
because that was many years ago.
many.
So
10 years ago for me.
I'm not
More
open-
than
I'm
10
not
for
openly
me.
admitting how many
Oh,
years ago
girl.
it was for me.
I
You were barely an age
graduated.
gay over 21.
I
It was
graduated
4
high
years
school
ago. More than that.
in 2003 because our school motto or whatever the class motto was O3Z faux cheesy.
Oh no, that is.
Are you kidding me right now?
I am not kidding
No,
you.
it's a telling of the times.
And this was the most suburban, like, stupid high school of all time. Like, these kids, like,
always
we had
those.
no right. 03, like, I was like, this is the dumbest. Why is this? Who voted for this? I don't remember what the other options were, but man,
It's always those suburban. Like, I went to a high school and the population was, primarily Caucasian, white. But we had the people in there, and eventually the people in there who thought they were more, they wanted to pretend they were in a gang, is what I'm trying to say here,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And so finally we had a speaker come to our school, and he straight up, he's like, I'm from South Central LA. He's like, let me tell you right now, there are no hoods in Washington. There are no hoods in Washington. And then after that, people started cleaning up their act.
we should have had someone do that at our school because something real bad happened, and a bunch of those kids who were very similar,
Yeah.
all went to jail promptly after high school because they beat up a kid from a rival high school with his own crutches. Like, this dude could not defend himself. He was already injured. He was a football player.
Why are kids such assholes?
They went to the park and beat the crap out of him.
What?
Almost killed him.
Jeez Louise.
And I was just like, again, like, this is all me looking like I was the quiet kid. Well, it wasn't that quiet, but I was the drama kid, like the theater nerd. So I only hung out with like those people, and that was pretty much it. I kind of ignored everybody else, or they ignored me, or a little bit of both.
What was the name of your high school?
Juanita High School,
What was your mascot?
the Rebels.
The Rebels, the Juanita High School Rebels.
They tried to change it because they thought because Rebels has a Confederate sort of tie to it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we didn't have we never had Confederate flags. We had never had anything. The Rebels mascot was like a short, fat dude. Like,
I'm a rebel.
and there was no Confederate flag whatsoever. Would like to make that clear, but there still was that sort of connotation.
Yeah, that
so
makes
they
sense.
kept trying to change it to the Eagles. However, there was already a high school that had the Eagles
Yeah, the
mascot.
Eagles is a common mascot, I feel like.
And it was a very we were like, what? Pick something else. If you're gonna try and change it, like at least give us an intelligent option.
What was your high school name and mascot?
Olympia High School, we were the Bears.
That
Rah
makes
rah.
sense. The Bears.
The rah rah.
I was from Fargo North High School. And
Fargo?
we were the Spartans.
Ooh.
Ooh.
The Fighting Spartans.
Fighting Spartans. So you entered high school at the age of 14. At least we did.
We had middle school. So middle school for us was grades 7 through 10.
Oh, so you're different.
No, 7 through 9. So 7, 8, 9.
Same.
Middle school.
Yeah.
And then 10, 11,
Where'd you
12
go to-
high school.
Oh. You didn't go to school in Washington, did you?
Yes, I did. Washington State.
Oh, interesting. Because our middle
We
school
had
was 6,
someone-
7, 8, and then high school is 9, 10, 11,
No,
12.
we had like
Yeah.
K through.
That's I find
6.
this is a common split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had the luxury of being when you were a freshman, you were like top dog.
Mhm.
Versus
Yeah.
other high schools when you're a freshman, you're like the bottom of the totem pole.
Oh, yes. The freshman pond.
Yeah.
We didn't have that. Yeah, because we had the same.
Mhm. Yeah, we had K
as
through
you.
6 in the elementary schools.
Yep, same.
In North Dakota.
Okay. Yeah, I was K through 5.
I don't know why my school district was different than yours, but
yeah, that's kind of, that's fine. It is
That's
what it is.
interesting.
So,
Yeah, so Brittany,
Yes.
what kind of extracurricular activities were you involved with at your high school?
I played soccer.
So did I.
Girl, what was your position?
I played defense, wing, generally left wing. Sometimes I would play right wing. And if Gina Hendrickson, who was our sweeper, was out that day, I would cover for her sometimes.
Nice.
I did love playing sweeper. Every once in a while, I would play mid, but like when you play midfield, you gotta like have a lot of endurance, and you have to know how to kick real well.
you gotta.
Yeah.
And I was better at. I was a very good sprinter, which made me a good defensive player.
Sure.
And I loved playing, but I started playing soccer when I was 7 years old, and I played all the way through intramurals in college.
Oh
Girl.
wow.
Yeah.
Girl.
And I actually played when I started freelancing hosting in Los Angeles. I played with a
rec team?
meetup.com team
Oh,
in
that's
LA.
awesome.
Yeah.
You played a lot longer than I did. I probably started about the same age.
Yeah.
But I fell off at high school. I kind of just didn't like the coach or like the people who were running the teams and didn't want to be part of it.
I understand that. So I also started around the same age. I played freshman and sophomore year in high school, and you had to try out for the team.
Mm-hmm.
So you had C team, JV, and then varsity. And I like to play soccer casually in the sense that, not to toot my own horn, I was very good at it, but I didn't like the competitiveness of like, to me, it was fun just to play because I wanted to play it. But when you get to high school, it's kind of on a whole new level in the sense that it's
Absolutely,
like, you play and you have to win. If you don't win,
Well, and you
it's-
practice in a wholly different way, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I did not like that at all. So I remember making JV, and asking the coach if I could join C team instead, the one below, because that was the team where it was just more casual. You could just kind of play for fun. So I did that my freshman, sophomore year. And then when I was a sophomore at the end of the year, I interned for an internship I interviewed for an internship at Department of Corrections, which was the headquarters at that time it was downtown Olympia.
Wait, why did you want to intern there?
It was a job, and I didn't know any different. I didn't know what Department of freaking Corrections was. I was a stupid
You
kid.
didn't know jail?
It was the headquarters building. All I knew is it wasn't in jail. All I knew is it would be an administrative position somewhere with a unit. And so I interviewed for that, got the job, and then after that I stopped playing soccer, obviously, because it's like, no, I have a job, and it was cool. And that was a job I ultimately grew and advanced to, that I ultimately quit to pursue my video game shenanigans.
Yes. Did either of you play indoor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Loved
so
indoor.
good.
I didn't play on like our high school soccer teams, but I did. We had our own, what do you call it, like a rec team, I guess. Like growing up, my dad coached the soccer team, and so some of those girls and I, like, we made our own like mini team for indoor, and we played a little bit during high school, and that to me was like super fun.
Yeah.
Loved indoor soccer.
Yeah, the
So
pace of
good.
indoor is really
Pretty
fun.
crazy, yeah.
It's super fast. Did you ever play futsal with the little mini ball, the small
No,
ball?
but I have played human foosball.
Goodness.
I don't know what that is.
The most incredible thing. So, and I've never seen it since, so I'm going to have to look it up later. But so there were these weird church things that would happen every now and then. Like like they would rent out a giant space and put things that were not related to church or Jesus whatsoever. But they would always end the night with like a big sermon, I guess. But they would just have fun activities, sort of like a carnival.
like youth group
Youth groups,
activities. Yeah.
I have no idea, but sure. I only went because I had a crush on a boy and
That
a
makes
girl,
sense.
and was like, sure, I'll go to the thing because you're gonna be there. And went to the thing, and they had human foosball, so it was sort of like indoor, except you are tied in line,
I've
you're
seen
all like
this.
bungeed in, and so you can only move so far.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And you play, and it was amazing. I had so much fun. And
Oh,
then
that
I always
sounds
would
fun.
bounce before they like did the preachy part. It's like, I gotta go.
Can't
sick.
go. I'm sick. Yeah, soccer was. I miss soccer. I liked it a lot.
I still have my equipment, my soccer bag
Your
from
cleats?
high school. It's in the garage here because I played a lot when I was in LA. But then one of the girls that I used to host with at Clever, or Dana Ward, who's amazing, who runs her own company now, she got a really bad injury when she was playing because she and I were both playing. We didn't play in the same team, and so I stopped playing my pickup league in LA because I was so worried about getting like an ACL injury or having something happen and being like not able to work because I had this injury. And as a freelancer, I had very intermittent healthcare coverage.
Yep.
So I was like, if something happens to me while I'm playing, because when I was playing in this pickup league in LA, there was a lot of international players and a lot it was co-ed, so it was men and women playing together. And like the international men players, like they don't give a fuck. They are
Yeah.
aggressive. And playing in a women's league, like, there's a reason why women and men are separated in sports teams, because your body mass is just different. And the way that you like connect with each other, height is different, your center of gravity is different. I mean, I know I'm saying things that seem super obvious, but like when you're playing in a co-ed team with men who've maybe never played in a co-ed team before, they don't realize like you could seriously hurt somebody depending on how you hit them. So
Were you an aggressive player, Andrea? Because I was super aggro.
I wasn't, no.
Oh,
Really?
I
No.
feel like I would probably be okay with those international men because I would just elbow the shit
I
out
also
of
got a
them.
few cards in my day.
See, my thing is I'm a super rule follower.
Oh no,
I'm a
if-
very big stickler on the rules.
I mean, I only got yellow carded once. I was real good at knowing when people were watching.
We're watching. Yeah. Throw like little elbows in there. Yeah.
Well, it's more like one time me and this chick got tangled, and I don't know, like I just like threw her, and like because I don't know, I physically do not know what happened. Like I don't know how we interlocked the way we did, but I was
It
like,
just
"Get
happened.
off me!" And it was just like it ended
Boom.
up being like a wrestling move.
You slammed her.
I kind of
Yeah, you did. No, I'm a really like nice, like I can be a very passive person, but for some reason when I was on the soccer field, I was like, bro, I'm gonna get you, and I was probably a little too
I mean,
aggressive.
it's like you got that adrenaline
Yeah,
pumping, you know,
yeah.
you're going. There was a girl on my club team. So in the summers during the off season, there was Red River Soccer in Fargo, which was the club team. that was like the traveling team, and you like paid extra and you played. And so this different players from the school system got to mix together and play. And there was this one girl who was from the rival high school, Fargo South, who played on my club team, who like punched a girl on the field.
Okay, you're not supposed to punch.
Like
No.
straight up like decked her
come on,
the
no.
field.
It's
And
not
obviously
hockey.
she got a red card, but like there
And
is
an
some
assault charge.
Yeah, no, it's Fargo. Everyone just apologizes to each other and they go on their
Oh,
merry
sorry.
way. Yeah, sorry. And it's true though. But it was funny because you can see these videos online now of these like female players on the field who are just
Oh.
like decking
The
each
one,
other.
have you seen the one? It's gone viral. Where
Pull
she
their
grabbed-
hair.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I never see like I never would pull. The most things I was just like very elbowy.
Yeah, coach was always just like throw your body weight because
Yeah,
women,
body
we
weight's good.
got hips,
Yeah.
so you
Got the
just
hips.
like you just throw your hips.
Damn
and you
hip
can't-
bones.
You can't get carded for it.
God.
So.
There was also a really fun time where like it was totally within the rules, and it was indoor.
Was it though?
I know if you have to preface it.
I
with
mean,
that.
the ref didn't say shit, and he was very clearly watching this. So what happened was, the ball touches you and goes out like it's the other team's ball. Doesn't matter if you kicked it out; it's just to touch you. So, that had happened. It was our kick. I put the ball down. I go to like this, and then the opposing team. This chick comes and like stands right in front of me,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what you're
come
supposed to
on.
do.
and I was like,
Blocks
"I'm gonna
you.
hit you
Yeah.
in the face if you stand there." I just said that, and she was like, she said nothing. So I like arced it so it smacked her in the face and went out of bounds, and then
Oh, that's a bitch move, Steimer.
that was a dumb move on her part.
and so it's my ball again,
Yeah.
but like 2 feet, 2
Wait,
feet up.
how many times did you hit her in the face?
Twice. And so I said, I'm going to do this again if you don't move. And she stayed. And I did the exact same thing, punted it in her
I'm
face, and went
sorry.
out.
She deserved that then.
And then the third time she moved. And
I mean, how?
again, the ref was watching the entire time.
Of course, that's
Got
totally
0
legal.
cards, got nothing. It was just
Good
Yeah.
for you, girlfriend. Back when I was playing soccer, we can move on from this, I promise. But I wasn't going to play my sophomore year, but at that point, Dragon Ball Z hadn't fully released in North America yet in terms of the VHS tapes and the uncut versions, because back then we had the...
good old VHS.
Oh, yeah,
tapes.
we had the Tsunamis, and those were always the edited versions of Dragon Ball Z that you would find. So my dad and I were totally hooked on Dragon Ball Z. So I'm like, Dad, if I play soccer for high school, because he loved coming to my games, so did my mom, I'm like, you have to buy me all the new Dragon Ball Z VHSs that come out every month. And there were 2 that came out every month. And so he did. And back then, did you ever have a Suncoast?
yes.
Okay, it was like a movie DVD place. And for about a year after that, long after I was done playing soccer, he had to hold up his end of the deal and buy me all the Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes. So that's why I played soccer in sophomore year, because I wagered a deal with my dad.
Z.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to play. I'm like, it's too competitive. Even C team was a little competitive. I'm like, but if you get me these Dragon Ball Z tapes, I'll do it. He was like, all right, daughter, that's worth it.
Man.
Fantastic. Back in those
My
days.
dad would never have made a deal like that with me. You
I
wanna know
never
what-
got deals.
what
Yeah.
he made me do instead in the summers?
What?
Had to watch the most boring. He basically made me like take summer school, but it was at home, and it
Aw.
was these history tapes, and I still am traumatized by them. Like, this man is the most boring man alive. I don't remember his name.
I thought you were talking about your dad for a
No.
second. And I was like,
I also thought you were talking about
No,
your dad. And I was
my
like,
dad
dang,
was not
Steimer.
giving these lectures. My dad was forcing me to watch these tapes of this boring ass man give these lectures on history, and I retained zero information because, of course, well, it was a giant
You
waste of
tuned
my
out,
time.
Yeah.
yeah, you're in summer. Who
And I
cares?
made when we were in Cabo, I kind of brought them back up.
You were like, damn it, Dad. You
I was
remember how
like-
you put
I was
you made
like,
me
why
suffer?
did you do this? He's like, well, the information was good. I'm like, I didn't retain any of it because he was terrible.
Like, real talk, we don't retain most of the information we learn in high school, right? Like, I think about all the classes I took,
True.
about how much I actually remember. Speaking of boring summer things to do, I took economics, AP economics, as a summer school course, which is like,
Girl.
I had a problem with overachieving in high school, like straight up.
Fair.
Hey.
I was always doing teacher's hours ahead of class, teacher's hours after class. I was obsessed
What are
with
teachers' hours?
so like
Like a TA or?
No, so in my high school, the teachers would make themselves available certain days of the week before or after class.
Oh, okay.
So like if you had questions about the assignments or if you needed help with one of the lectures or whatever, you could go in and get like additional help so you weren't dragging down the rest of the class with your questions. Teacher, I always have questions. That was me. I was the annoying girl in your classroom
That held up the classes.
Yeah, because my thing was I was never the smartest kid in my school, but I
working
touted
hardest.
myself that I was one of the hardest workers because I was like, if I don't get it, I would always come in and I would always ask for extra credit. And AP Economics was one of the boring classes, but for me in school, I was the person who needed to have an A. And I graduated with a 4.0, one of the top valedictorians in my class. We actually had 4 people tied.
Damn.
Wow.
For AP for
Did you
for
guys all
grades.
take turns giving the speech?
Nobody gave a speech.
Oh.
Yeah, so because there was too many of us, like no, there was no valedictorian speech. Wait, no, there was one kid that was nominated. Darren Sullivan, I think, maybe.
I don't
maybe?
remember who our
I don't remember.
valedictorian was.
I don't think anyone from my high school actually watches my show. But I don't remember who it was. But there was this one time. So I took some theater classes in summer school because there's a theater in Fargo called the Trollwood Performing Arts. And every summer they put on a musical. And they also do theater classes, dance, they do improv and regular theater, voice classes. And it's kind of like a nice summer camp for kids who are into the arts.
Mm-hmm.
And one year they had a visiting professor from New York who was teaching an improv class. And I started an improv club at my high school called Julia's Seizures.
Oh my god.
It was a play on word
I
from
love
Julius
it.
Caesars.
Obviously.
The rival high school had Donkey Hoties. So like
I like these names.
yeah, it was pretty good. And so we started this improv class. And so when I found out there was a visiting professor teaching improv, I was like, oh, I want to take her class. And so I took the improv class and she gave me a B.
Oh, hell no.
The only
Did you
B
fight her in the streets?
I ever received in high school, and I was livid. So I instantly, after she gave me my grade, I went to her and was like, listen, like, I don't know if you know who I am, but I don't get B's.
Also, how the hell do I get a B in an improv
Oh my god!
class?
I gotta say, girl, I am not surprised.
basically
Not
a pass-fail.
any of
No,
this.
you know me, you're not surprised at all. So like I went to her and she was like, well, you know, like she's like, you did a great job, but like, you know, this is where, you know, you have
Well,
room
what
for
could you have done
improvement.
better?
Right. Here's the thing though.
Are you participating?
And
Yes
this-
or no?
Yeah, and this is my frustrating part. Was like, how do you even grade an improv class? Except for participation. If you're not participating, right?
Yes, totally. If you had gone up there and done the opposite rule of improv and had been no and said
Right,
no
and
instead
not
of
the yes and.
Yes and.
So I got upset and I was like, well, what can I do? Because normally when I do in my normal classes throughout the year, whenever you get your like midterm grades or whatever, I would always check in with my teachers to be like,
Did you
where's
pull
my
a share?
Yeah,
always. Yes,
Oh,
from
yeah?
Clueless. Absolutely.
Forgot her last name.
Horowitz.
Oh yeah, good job.
So I would go to them and be like, where's my grade at? And then if it was lower than I needed it to be, I would ask for extra credit. I would do extra papers. I would turn in extra assignments, whatever I needed to get to an A. And preferably an A+. But my school didn't do weighted GPAs. It was like you either had the A or you didn't.
Yes.
So you didn't get more or less points for like minuses and pluses in my school.
Yeah.
And so I went to her and I was like, well, listen, like I'm going for this perfect record thing. Like I really like don't want to be on my record. Can you help me out? Like, is there another class I can do? Is there another assignment? Is there like something I can, any way that I can like improve my grade? And she was like, no, that's just, you know, that's the final grade. She's like, I'm sorry that you're not happy with it, but you know, you did a really great job. And I was like, but it's a B.
And you were like, B is not great
That's
job.
a 3.0.
It was devastating to me. And so I went to
Were you like, I'm dropping this class?
well, she was a visiting professor, so there was nothing I could do, and it was a summer school class. So when
this
the
is
fall,
what you get for taking summer
Yep.
school.
I know, right? I got screwed. So when the fall term came around, for the next year, I went to the head of the drama department, and I went to him and I said, "Listen, I got a B in summer school, and I don't like it. How do I fix it?" And he said, "Well, technically, the only way that you can fix that grade is to retake the class." And I was like,
Oh.
well, can I do that? And he was like, well, I don't know if we're going to have the same class next year. And so what he was able to do, because I was very insistent that I needed to get this B off my record,
Amazing.
is that he went to the superintendent of the school and got permission for him to give me like a private class.
Private improv, that doesn't work.
No, so what he did is he made they worked with the superintendent to make a drama course that would substitute that grade. And so what I did is I was a student director of the school play that fall.
Oh, cool.
So I had all of these responsibilities. I helped with blocking. I did script notes. I did the technical direction. And so
You were an assistant director.
So he was like, you're going to, be the student director for the show, and then I will grade you at the end on your performance. And I got an A.
Yay.
Isn't it so funny as teenagers? Like, that is your whole world at that point, right? You gotta be in a class. Oh my gosh, the world is falling. Everything is dying.
The nice part about me growing up was that my sister, I have an older sister, and she was more like you. And she really cared about all these things. And I saw her really care about all these things. And I decided I did not care about any of these things.
Yeah.
That's not to say I didn't want to do well. I was a solid student. I was not like a C student. Hell no. But like, I was like, B's are good. B+ is good.
Well, the irony of all of this is that I worked my ass off to make sure I had a perfect score in high school. And then I'd taken all these AP courses, and I earned a full ride scholarship to my school. And like, it was worth it. And then I get to my freshman year. I'm taking because I'm in the honors program at the University of Minnesota. I'm taking honors philosophy as one of my classes in my first freshman year. Get a B, and the professor's like, "No, that's it." And so I had a B on my record, and then I was like, "Well,
this is welcome to
that's
real
it.
At
life."
least you ripped that Band-Aid off quick.
No, and really, like, it was welcome to real
Real
life.
life.
And like, that's what college is for. College is
Yes.
to remind you, like, hey, guess what? Shit's not going to get any easier. In fact, it's going to be harder, and this is where it's going to get real. And it got real for me.
It's true,
Totally.
because in high school, it's like, think about, you were able to get people to pull strings to make it so you were happy to get an A, and it's like, that
That's
ain't
not
real
how it
life.
works.
No, but even today, as an adult, I have such an impossible time taking no for an answer. Because when I was young, I was able to and I never asked people to give me something for nothing. That's the thing that I wanted to always remind my parents whenever they were like, well, you were out past curfew last night. I was like, Mom, whatever. I'm like 4.0, shut up. My thing is, it's like, I'm willing to work for it, but I have, even as an adult, it's transcended to me. And if anyone's ever gone out to eat with me or gone anywhere with me, that I I need my way and I need it.
You're
a
Sally
thing.
from When Harry Met Sally. A little bit.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it in so long. I don't even know,
Oh.
but I believe you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing for me now. But yeah.
That's so funny.
And then by the time I got to my senior year of college, I got my one and only C that I've ever gotten in my entire life.
I
I don't even want to admit it. Can't say.
Yeah, come on.
Now I want to know.
It was one of my social studies classes.
Oh, that's fine.
But
I'm sure I don't remember.
the
the final. It's one of those finals that's all essay. It's 2.5 hours of essay, and I'm frantically writing notes, and I have such bad ADD, and Adderall was just becoming a thing when I was in college, that I was the last kid left in the lecture hall frantically writing at the end, and I came in with a textbook of handwritten notes ready to do this test. I hated essay tests.
See, I was very much more a writer, and so I loved essay questions because I can just blab on for fucking ages, and maybe they just
so
won't
bad.
care enough to read it all, and then we'll just be like, she worked enough. We'll give her a grade.
See, I can never collect my thoughts together.
And that's what's hard. That's what I loved about typing, is that you can just erase everything and start over. But when you're balls deep into an essay, because I'm like you,
Yeah.
it's you can't just erase everything with your little pencil.
No, because when we were in school, kids, when you did an essay test, we weren't typing. You had to write it all.
You're writing
by
it.
hand.
Write everything.
I don't even know what they do in
The only AP
what
class
are the kids doing in college these
they
days?
still write in books, I think, for tests.
I
Blue
would
books?
imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be crazy.
The only AP classes I ever took were English related because.
Mine were Spanish related.
Oh, really?
I took AP Spanish in my senior year of high school.
How's that helping you now?
It's really annoying. Okay.
I was hoping you were going to say something back in Spanish.
Yeah, you should have.
See, it's fucked up. I can.
See, that's
See,
the best. That's
it's
the best you
fucked
can
up.
muster.
No. I can.
She
no,
meant
no, no, no.
SEE. See, it's
SEE.
fucked up. Not CSI.
If I have some drinks and if I can read it
Right?
very well.
Okay.
But it helped me because a few years out of high school, maybe like 3 or 4 years out of high school, and it was still fresh in my mind. I went to
Spring break. Spring break.
I went to Mexico
And got E. coli.
I got E. coli and I was hospitalized.
Oh my God.
It was
We were
awful.
friends then, or
Yeah.
at least I knew of you then, because
Oh,
I
yeah, for
remember
sure.
seeing that,
No,
and I was like, what the
Jason and I had been together maybe like 3 months at this point, and I ended up getting E. coli.
was he there with you?
Yeah, he was a trooper. That's how I knew, like, okay, this guy's a keeper. He hung out in the hospital room, like, slept on the couch.
Aw.
Like, it was, and we were flying back the next day. It was a cluster mess. So, the doctor came in, and I had a Legend of Zelda wallet, and he saw my wallet, and so we, like, started talking about that in Spanish. And then I woke up at, like, 4 in the morning in, like, the most excruciating pain I've ever been in. And so I was able to page the doctors in and the nurses in and tell them, like, my stomach really, really hurt and I need more medicine. And that was, like, the most beneficial use I ever got out of that language. And so it makes me sad that I forgot it. I also wish I had taken Japanese instead. Because, I mean, honestly,
We
you don't
didn't
know.
offer IJAP. Well, no, actually, that's a lie. They did.
I mean, you don't know when you're a kid. Like,
Definitely not offered at my high school.
it was offered
or college.
We had, like, all of the languages at my high school. Obviously, I wish I would have taken Japanese because it would have been more relevant to my interests today and my, like, career as an adult. But I didn't know any different back then.
Sure. I also was like really good at Spanish.
I was so good at it too.
When-
It came naturally to me.
Dude, like the teacher, I was the only kid laughing at the jokes like
Yeah.
that the teacher was cracking. And I remember distinctly, like, he made one joke about, like, the art on the cover looked like their hands looked like feet, and he said that in Spanish.
Yeah.
And, like, I laughed. And then a boy that I had a crush on who didn't like me back but was my friend. Story of my life.
Oh, friend zone.
Dude, I was friend zoned so many times.
They
Like,
probably
I cannot
regret
tell
it
you.
now.
You should just call me Madam Friend Zone, because that's my life. Like, I know that I know that people in comments will be like, oh yeah, right, blah blah blah. No, for fucking real, it's still my life. I don't know how it happens, but it does. And
You're
so
just so cool, Steimer.
You're a little intimidating.
Everyone
Steimer.
just wants to hang with you.
Intimidating.
everyone just wants to hang out and have a beer. And
That
like-
you're extremely beautiful and you're extremely intelligent, and that is hard for some men to handle.
I suppose, but they all liked my friends,
Aww.
and it was really
So,
sad.
if there are any children, I shouldn't say children. Oh God, how old am I? Kids, teenagers, young adults in high school, and you are learning a language. Youngsters. Oh, Andrew, that's
Stick
worse.
with the same language. No, so what happened to me?
I
You
split
will
my
forget it.
languages too.
was
I started
awful.
with Spanish and then I went to French in college. It was a big
That's
mistake.
what happened to me. So I triple fucked it. So, like, so Spanish all
Okay.
through high school, really good at it, so good at it. Go to college. I don't know why I took French. I think, like, the Spanish wasn't matching. I don't know. Or I was like, oh, no, it's time to learn fancy French. So I took French class.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
You just wanted to learn how to say croissant properly.
croissant. You don't pronounce any of these letters.
That's
and
exactly it. That's French.
Then I went and I studied abroad in Monaco, and I lived in France and took Italian
Girl.
because they didn't offer the French class that was the appropriate level for what I was, and I needed another elective course.
I'm just gonna say it. Italian is useless.
I mean,
As somebody who doesn't live in Italy, learning Italian is
no,
useless.
totally. It wasn't. I didn't take Italian because I really wanted to. I took Italian because this was a small business school. I needed another, like, elective course in order to graduate. Language was one of the few things they offered. They didn't offer anything in any other, like, so I had to
They
take
didn't offer like karate. I took that as an elective in my college.
Karate.
at the University of Monaco. No, they did not. This was a school that was about 2 stories.
Wait, how long were you there for?
A semester.
And you had to take another class that semester. You couldn't take it when you got back.
No, because, like, I studied abroad my senior year, so, like, time was running out,
Time was
and, like,
running
I
out.
needed to sort of maximize what I was doing there, because I had already gotten, like, most of the
Yeah.
credits that I needed in my.
So you made a mistake.
I made a mistake.
It
I made a
happens.
planning mistake.
It happens in life.
So I took
And now
intro
you have
to
3
Italian.
romance languages, and you just started mixing all the words together.
That's exactly what happened in
Yep,
that class.
I
and
know
the teacher-
exactly this problem.
Thankfully, the teacher, like, found it sort of amusing. When I would speak back to her, she'd be like, well, part of that was French and part of that was Spanish. But, like, A+ for effort.
A for
Thankfully,
effort.
like, she was chill and it was fine. But I was like, oh my God, it really hurt my head. And it was just, everything was mixing together.
So what I want to know is, this sounds strange,
Mm-hmm.
but what did you ladies dress like in high school?
Oh,
the
girl.
worst. I was so ugly.
I doubt that. So I most people don't know that I have naturally very curly hair.
It's so pretty.
And I've shown you some photos.
Yeah, I like
and,
it.
When I first started hosting way back in like the mid 2000s, I was wearing my hair curly on camera. But I did an internship my senior year of college with the entertainment reporter for CBS, the affiliate in Minneapolis. And one of the things that the interns get at the end of your internship is you get to record a piece at the news desk for your reel, which is amazing.
That's pretty cool.
And then you get a consultation with the news director. So they'll look at your reel and they'll give you feedback on your reel, and then they'll give you some feedback on like your performance and to help you grow. And they'll be like, as a news director for a major affiliate, this is what we're looking for and this is where you can improve. So like really invaluable information for someone who's just coming out of college.
Totally.
And when I sat down with him, he gave me a bunch of feedback on my delivery and this and this. And he's like, this is where you could improve and this and here. And he said, right when we were getting finished, he was like, one last thing. You have to change your hair if you're going to work on camera. He's like, I know it sounds crazy, but like when you turn profile, we can't see your face. So if you're ever doing interviews, which in my career I do quite a bit of, we can't see your face because your fro is essentially covering your face. So since that day forward, I changed my hairstyle on camera. So
Yeah.
I no longer wear my hair curly. The only time I wear it curly is like if I'm on vacation. And like I don't have to take photos or do it, or if like the humidity is so high, I just cannot tame it.
But it's so
yeah.
pretty. Even
Thank
for
you.
like
I've
always
these
liked
shoots,
curls.
you could do it.
I could, but I think it's to the point now
You're just used to doing
where
it.
I've been straightening it. It's like the Nicole Kidman effect. You remember like back in like
oh yeah, she used
the
to have
day
real
she just
curly
had
hair.
this voluptuous like curly hair, and then now it's all straight. Same with Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey used to have this amazing curly hair. Now it's super straight. I think it's just like I've gotten used to seeing myself without it, that when I do let it like air dry, I'm always like, oh, it looks like a hot mess.
It probably looks real pretty though.
But the thing is I did a lot of like maintenance. Curly hair requires a certain level of maintenance, but it was just an interesting thing that happened to me when I had my
I understand that.
Britt,
my
did you
consultation.
still dress the same? Video game t-shirts and jeans?
No, actually, when I was in high school, I went through like a 1 to 3 year period where I really didn't play a lot of video games. I was into the boys, the whole social scene.
You were not friend zoned.
I met
I always dated older guys, college guys. I was that girl.
Oh, I
Yeah,
would
girl.
never have been introduced to a college.
I never dated a guy at my high
person.
school. Only dated the college guys.
I met actually
My father would have killed me.
my ex-boyfriend in high school, the dude I seriously dated before I met Jason. We met when we were like 16, dated till like 21, and we split up. But so I was in a relationship the majority of high school, and I just was like more into the social scene. Kind of, I would play like Final Fantasy IX casually in the evenings. I broke the dress code so many times.
Oh, you guys
In
had a
what
dress
way?
code?
Oh, well, there's
Yeah.
always like a little bit of a
I
dress
wore
code.
Yeah, it's true.
short skirts, high heels.
You wore heels?
Oh, dude, there was a period of my life where I lived in heels
My mom wouldn't really let me buy heels.
for like 5 years. Like I still have them because I need to throw them away. But
Wait, you still have the heels you wore in high
Do you
school?
still have your short
Because they're-
skirts?
I've thrown away the ones that have aged that like would not pass for today. But like I keep some around, like if I ever have to wear the dress to the Game Award show or something like that, and I gotta throw
You
them on.
still have
Wait,
the
the
same
Game
pair
Awards
of heels you
show
wore in
those are
high
the
school?
what?
Girl, can I take you shoe shopping?
Yes, please.
Can we go shoe shopping? We buy you some new shoes. You don't have to wear those old ones.
No, okay. Here's the thing. Like nowadays,
Just say
like,
yes.
Just say
Sure,
yes.
sure, you
Okay,
can.
Okay,
sir.
good.
I won't wear them though. Like so back.
It's not fun. I have 2 pairs of heels. They get worn only on special occasions, and that's fine.
Yeah, but it's so funny because, like I said, back in those days, man, like the shorter the skirt, the tighter the dress, the taller the heel, the better. And then I
I feel like those rules still apply.
But not for Brittany.
I mean,
like
like,
Brittany's like
I'm like
always
a
in a
jean,
shirt.
a t-shirt,
It's
and
true.
like flat shoes.
Yeah, the only time I've ever seen you in a dress was at the Game Awards.
Yeah, and that used to be like my jam. But I don't know. I just got older. I'm like, I like being more. It all started when I became self-employed. Let's just be honest here.
Then you're working from home.
I became
and your pajamas
self-employed.
become your uniform.
Oh, my sweats. You put on a few pounds because you're like, your sweats are very forgiving. You never really realize what's happening in the
Sweatpants
moment.
are all that fit me
You
right
have no
now.
reason. I mean, shout out to Tara Bruno, Patreon supporter, because I presented her with this argument because she's always wearing the most fabulous heels. And I'm like, yeah, I became self-employed and that happened. She's like, girl, I don't want to hear it. She's like, I am self-employed.
That
She's
she
like,
is.
look, I'm like, you're
And
right.
she's
She's
upped her
always
shoe
looking
game.
fly.
You're right. I have
Yeah.
no excuse. But yeah, I got in trouble quite often for breaking the dress code. And plus, there was the teacher, Miss Kruger. I know you're not listening to this, but I'm telling you right now, you're a bitch. She,
lay it down.
she had it for me. I was like a 3.7, 3.8 student. I never got
Great student.
detention. I never got study hall. I never got in trouble for
You just
anything.
dressed like you're going to the club, girl.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, they're legs. They're just legs. I'm sorry, did those offend you? I don't care. Dudes would walk.
Would you have passed the fingertip rule?
I did. I always made sure I passed the fingertip rule.
Okay, if you
Is
don't know what
she-
the fingertip rule
No.
is, it's you stand and you just have your arms to your side, and if whether or not your skirt or your shorts
Passes your
pass
fingertip.
your
Sometimes you need to
fingertip.
pull up your shoulders a little bit to give yourself an inch of leeway. But, you know,
So you were on the cusp of
I was
not
on the
passing.
cusp. But she
Okay.
had it out for me. She hated me. I don't know why. She was an old.
She jelly?
Jealous.
Probably, you know. And so she would, you know, my boyfriend and I at the time, but like we would be like, okay, I'll see you next period. You're a stupid kid. You're
Were
priority.
you making out in the hallways?
No making out. A friendly, like.
I
'cause
never
was,
got to make out in the hallways.
I was very conscious
I
of
missed
that.
out on that
I
high
didn't-
school experience.
I never dated a guy at my high school, so I don't know either.
All right, good.
I didn't want to be like that couple in high school where you like see like making out in the corner, like full like tongue and everything. They don't know what they're doing because they're barely kids. So I was always very conscious of that. So like, bye babe, kiss on the lips. And she's like, PDA. She would run past me to her class she had next to me. PDA, and she would like point at us.
Wait, the teacher?
Wait,
The
what?
teacher, yes.
Was it not allowed?
I mean, technically no.
no, but
Well,
like,
I don't think we
it,
had any rules.
It was a situation
school,
where
right?
Fornication. It's fornication.
Fornication.
Steiner.
Kissing is not fornication.
Yes,
it
it
was-
is.
it was the situation. Okay, we'll Google this.
I'm gonna Google this word. I don't think
We're
that's
While
both
they're
gonna
Googling
Google it
this,
right now.
It was a thing where he
fornication
and I.
is the sex.
I'm pretty sure fornication is a very sexual word that has something to do with putting mouth. your
Sexual intercourse
Okay,
between people
okay,
not
it
married
wasn't
to each other.
Okay, you're right. It's
mouth.
actually
Fornication in the hallway. No, that was not what was
it's
happening.
the key here is not married to each other.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So anyway, it was the thing where he and I would give each other like a peck on the lips or two. And there would be a couple like maybe 5 feet behind us, full on like grope making out, and she would focus on us.
She just really liked
She was
you.
I don't know what her problem was. I think she needed to get laid. That's my
I mean,
conclusion.
probably.
Yeah. Anyway, no, so I that was my thing. I got in trouble. And then on the very last day of high school of you know, I was a senior, I wore like a little tiny jean skirt and some high heels, and I wore like a crop top. I'm like, what you gonna do, bitch? What you gonna do?
Damn.
Yeah.
Crop top.
I was.
There was no midriff bearing at my school.
No, it wasn't allowed at mine either. But I was like,
But the last day of your, it's like, what
I
are
was
you
like,
gonna
what you
do?
gonna do?
Senioritis.
I got
Send me
3.8.
home, girl.
I'm
I don't
good.
care.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I was the opposite.
That was
I
therapeutic.
wore a lot of. I was the kid that rolled. So I was really tired all the time. Number one, I had seasonal depression.
Happens
Same.
that happens in Washington.
Seattle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same in North Dakota, yeah.
Number two, I was a theater kid, which meant I was at school really late. Whenever we were doing in production,
Mm-hmm.
you lived at the theater. So I also suffered with like really bad insomnia. So those were the three things that happened to me in high school, which meant I gave zero fucks. I just
Sure.
needed clothes on my person to go into the school. So I would wear like a lot of leggings and ginormous t-shirts. Like the most
That's like my life
unflattering thing you could possibly think. I was just like, giant shirt, cool. Something that resembles pants, cool. God knows what shoes I wore. I don't know. Like it was just like whatever would work.
Yep.
You would just
Yeah, I always tried really hard to be fashionable, trendy.
no. I already
had
knew I was
I had
out.
like the full length denim and khaki skirts. I wore like the spaghetti straps with the t-shirt underneath.
Oh yeah, that was the best look ever.
Oh, yeah, and it's coming back now. Every time I
Wait.
see it in a store, I'm like, go away. You had your time.
It's
You
coming
had your
back?
time.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, like the sunflowers
Yeah.
everywhere, and also, so I got my nickname Blossom from when I used to wear the big floppy hat with the flower.
Not from the Powerpuff Girls.
No, from
No,
the
from
TV
Blossom, the
series
TV
Blossom,
show.
because she always used to wear these hats.
Yeah.
I got that when I was much younger, not in high school, but it kind of translated through and it became my first screen name. Oh, shout out to AOL.
Oh yeah.
oh no, AOL was the worst. That was where I got rejected all of the time.
No, sexting, sex chat. But do you guys remember like the text game, the text like games that you played in chat back on AOL days?
Like what?
ASL.
ASL, like that. But I don't think that's not what you're
That's the
talking
only
about,
game
is
I
it?
played.
Oh no! One time, someone was like, "Hey, you want a cyber?" And I was like,
Oh,
"What's that?"
cyber. That's what it
That's
is.
Cyber sex?
Yeah, someone's like, "You want a cyber?" And I'm like, "Sure." What's that? Does that mean we can talk? And
Yes.
it's like, "All right, girl, I'm taking off your panties." And I was like, "Oh, okay,
I need to log off now.
This is
Goodbye.
my grandparents' computer. I
Yeah.
don't know what's happening." Yeah, it's bad
Exactly.
news
That was
bears.
all about that. Hormones, they're a thing. But
Yeah.
listen, we're going we're going to wrap this up here. I want to start
We should do more of these because I have way more things
And
to
me
talk
too.
about.
Listen,
Well,
there's a
part
lot
two.
we didn't even touch on
I
for
know.
sure. So we could do a part
This
two.
is high
We could
school
do
part
a part
one.
2 of it.
Yeah.
When Miss Alexa Ray is back from her space travel. I want to end with one high school regret that you have. One thing you have a regret about. Either something you didn't do, something you did and you regret, or something you wish you would have done. One regret.
Something I wish I would have done was embrace more of who I was in the sense of like what I really enjoyed. I really obviously loved video games at that point, and there were anime clubs and video game clubs and people who have reached out to me that I went to high school with that we are casual acquaintances, but now they see what I'm doing, like what's good in my own brand blonde nerd, and they're like, dude, what the hell? Like, where were you in high school? And I was like, I was there. I just wasn't being true to myself.
Yeah.
And I think had I had done that, I probably would have made some really close friends. Because we could have bonded over that. But I also focused on the stupid, superficial shit all teenagers are focused on.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think so. I was a theater kid for a long time, and I started in like 2 of the plays, and then I was on costumes, and I was an assistant director. But there was one semester where I just didn't even audition, and I don't know why. I was like going in through a weird phase,
Hormones
like
are
weird
man.
thing. Yeah, I don't know what was happening, but I was just like, I don't know, I'm not really into it, and I think what it was is just the audition scared me now that I'm remembering, and because the audition was Shakespeare. And like you had to memorize a Shakespearean monologue and do it. Even though the play did not end up being Shakespeare. It was a play called She Stoops to Conquer. And so I did an audition, therefore was not qualified to get any of these roles, obviously. There are consequences to your actions. Later on, the director / theater teacher of the school, her daughter and I were good friends, and she pulled me aside later and she's like, why didn't you audition? Like, mom wanted to give you this role, like the lead role. And I was like,
Yeah.
because I was an idiot.
Regret
Could
is
have
the
started 3 plays.
worst. Yep.
Well,
Oh well, it's fine. But like I'm like, I wish I wasn't being such a butthead.
But
Like,
that probably was a valuable lesson that you
It
learned and
was.
took into adulthood.
yes, it was. But
Yes.
if I could go back, I'd probably just suck it up and do the thing.
Yes.
one of the regrets, I have a couple, but
Yeah.
like the one I'm going to talk about now is I wish I would have cut class a little bit more. And I say that as somebody who's like, what I mean by that is I wish I would have just relaxed a little
a
bit
kid.
more and had some more experiences with my friends and not been so uptight. But I said at the beginning of this that like I was a big rule follower, and that's like carried me through. And I think that it has benefited me a lot in my adult life and has made me a very successful person. But as I've gotten older, I've gotten to see like the gray area between when it's important to follow the rules and when it's okay to kind of fudge the rules a little bit.
Totally.
Yes.
Smear them a little bit, as long as nobody's getting hurt and you're not hurting anybody else. Like, it wouldn't have affected my life overall if I had just had a little fun. But I just refused, and I always got on my friend's case whenever they were like trying to take a long lunch or they missed a period or whatever. And I was just like, no, like that's what we call them. You have
No, you
periods in
missed-
school.
I know. I'm sorry.
Not like you
You
got
just gave an
preggers.
eye, and I was like, no.
I know, because it was a good moment. Continue.
But
Anyway,
your
like, my-
do you think it was military upbringing?
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
Because
That my
I
mom
was-
was in the
yeah,
Air
similar.
Force. Yeah, that like it was always very much like you have to. These are responsibilities. You have to be on time. You have to do this. And I had just had such a sense of obligation, and I had such a sense of pride in my work that I never wanted to. I wanted to not have less than a perfect record, you know.
Sure.
Sure.
And I just wish, looking back, that my mom at one point would have been like, "Hey, you're doing great. It's okay if you take a break. It's okay if you
Sure.
like ease up on yourself and not push yourself to like the brink and like go have a fun experience with your friends."
Did you ever cut class?
Never. I never cut a class.
I cut class
Same.
once, like, or twice senior year, but because I was very much like, father's military man, I was terrified of him,
yeah.
and like did not want to cross paths with doing something bad, but I did like when I
Yeah.
knew he wouldn't know. Sorry, Dad, if you're listening.
I cut class a lot in college because I was like, I'm paying for this. If I'm going to skip class, I'm skipping class because I want to, and you can't do anything about it. But in high school, no, never.
I mean,
I did a
hindsight
couple
is
of those.
2020, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's freaking hard.
It was mostly just like a long lunch we would take. Actually, I don't know if technically I ever missed the class. I was just late to a class, like really late, like
Yeah, I
15
mean,
minutes
also
late.
when you're a teenager, like your whole world is like school, and I mean, not for everyone, but for I think
Yeah.
we're all the same. Like getting good grades, making your parents proud.
You're trying to go to college.
That's you have no like real life experience. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the little things are that are really going to matter, and those memories you make in high school or don't make. You know, when you're an adult, that means a lot.
Yeah. And I like talk to like maybe a handful of people, not even 5 people from my high school still.
Oh no,
But like in the moment, you feel like it's like your whole world. Yeah.
absolutely.
I think I always kind of knew it wasn't, so I didn't really care.
You're an old soul.
Oh, that's
Steimer.
good,
Like,
Summer.
I mean, because I only talked to one person still from high school, but she's not even from high school. I've known her since we were like
Little.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, this has been fun.
It has been fun.
It went on much longer than we intended it to. We're like, we're just going to talk about this
And
for
we
a
can
little
keep
while.
talking about
Honestly,
it.
I
We
could
could.
keep talking about
Yeah.
it. So yeah,
We're going to have a part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah.
For sure. But we want to give another big thank you to all of our secret segment patrons out there. We love that you guys support us. We wouldn't be here without you. If you guys ever have suggestions for stuff that you would like to see in a secret segment, please email us at contact@whatsgoodgames.com and say like secret patron idea, or just let us know that you're a part of the secret segment club, or just when we post this, leave a comment below on the Patreon post and let us know if you guys want something special that you'd like us to talk about. We're always open to suggestions.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, and we'll be back next month with more talk for your ear holes.
Ear
I was
holes
hoping
and
you were
brain
gonna say
folds.
yours.
Bye, everybody.
Did you say you cybered?
Yes.
Girl. Yes.